want to introduce some of our cute players that you're going to be watching today. So this is Craig Mira, who is one of our collections care specialists. Mark Beeman is our manager of exhibitions. And Deirdre Windsor is our textile conservator that's here to help today. So they're going to be the ones unrolling these beauties.
These are really more Mark and Craig. They can tell you about storage and these better than I could.
And I am a local textile conservator. The only thing with those particular vacuums is that they redesigned it and the horsepower is higher. And even though it's sold as a museum vacuum, they aren't as good as the old ones with the lower horsepower. So, because I can bring mine down to where I could just pick up like little tiny bits, you know, on a very fragile textile.
And are the spots discoloration because of pigment change over time, or repairs, or deliberate? You see how these little pale patches scattered all over?
Those are definitely areas where it's been repaired. So the method is reweaving. So it's a very integrated type repair. And it may be, you often see a lot of that towards the bottom because maybe insects or any kind of activity would be lower to the floor. And they have either discolored because of different dyes, or maybe they didn't match the yarn. It's always an unknown.
So
unless there was
is part of a larger tapestry.
That would be my guess. I mean, there were certainly narrow tapestries that were made. Like if you think of tapestries being used, in older times where it's upholstering a complete room, there would be sections of a room that might be narrow. And so if it came from that sort of situation, then maybe it is narrow, but I can also see that it has a new border, so that's my first clue that it was cut down. Where they saw that high contrast stitching thread, they wanted it out. Yeah, so they wanted it all colored match so that you could only focus on the textile.
Wow. That's ahistoric.
Yes, I know.
Wow.
Threads that you begin weaving with. So in tapestry, they're woven sideways and backwards. So the weavers would work from the back side, and they would be weaving in this direction. So all the strength is in this direction. And as over time, because of that, where the weft yarns are not continuous, that's where you get a lot of damage because it pulls apart. The wool foundation in this direction is the strongest. So tapestry is a technique. Tapestry is not just sort of a general term that you apply to all textiles that hang on the wall. So it's truly a technique. So you have the warps, which are going this direction, and the weft yarns are various colors. Here's a good example, where there's the light colored yarns and the blue next to it. Here, they've actually, between those two, they may have interlocked the fibers, okay? But where the fibers are not interlocked and they're side by side, those would have been left open during the course of the weaving, and then after weaving, the next part of the process would be to stitch them up.
Are there any weavers left?
Yeah. I mean, you can even, as a tourist, for instance, if you're in Paris at all, go to Gobelin and go tour through the workshops and see people weaving. In Aubusson and Westdean. We were just having a little conversation in England, south of England, in Chichester. There's a school, Westdean College, where they teach tapestry, tapestry construction.
Não, essa bacia
Silk is one of the strongest, if not the strongest, natural fiber when it's brand new. but it's very susceptible to damage and degradation from light. Even though this silk looks like it's intact, if you were to take a single fiber, you know, from this tapestry and just rub it between your fingers, it's basically dust. Was it the one behind there you were asking about? Like, why is it so nebulous and faded? This is what they were after. A really limited palette, but trying to give you the sense that it's way off in the distance in the sunlight. That detail is sort of woven in, it's, some team is really going to start looking, you know, investigating support systems of tapestry and doing, you know, like real analysis through photogrammetry or something like that, so you can really understand the topography, you know, over a period of time, you know, tapestries, because they they sort of extend, you know, when it's warmer and more humid, and then they tighten up in the winter when we have heat.
Now, these are made to be hung as opposed to be flat on the floor.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right. Yeah, pictorially, they're definitely organized in that way. You know, where this is a big frame.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you see woven, gilded frame. But yeah, but it's kind of, I think it's a brilliant idea to just have this opportunity to take them out, because they can't be hung that easily, actually.